When I came to Dubai, my first impression was that everything, literally everything, has been commercialized. So every square centimeter is supposed to make money. So in this kind of circumstances, to develop culture is extremely complicated, as you can imagine, because culture is only another kind of business in the eyes of people who are actually developers in Dubai. So it's extremely complicated for me to come across with the idea that we have to facilitate culture and arts in a way that it is not seen as a commercial but a non-commercial effort, which is very important to make the city long-living and sustainable. We thought we have to establish public spaces, we have to establish public institutions. But we have to do this in two ways. We have to do this actually immediately, because in a city with more than 1.5 million people, there might be already a lot of creativity we even don't know about, because there's no way to show it, there's no way to communicate, there's no way to create an audience. So that's why it was extremely important to have, as soon as possible, first platforms for cultural communication. I invited several artists to collaborate with us in the Dubai Culture and Arts Authority. One of them was Rem Koolhaas. We, for example, had the idea to have a kind of temporary venue as a pavilion, where we would actually rather start performing as soon as possible. This is something that was in the former amphitheater, which has been considered to be turned into a air-controlled and noise-controlled theater with a suspended curtain next to it, a very simple box like an exhibition space, which could even travel as a container and shipped elsewhere. Dubai is a city of containers anywhere, so we thought that art could be actually also be part of the idea of shipments. So that was a very fast to build, very immediate intervention we planned in order to open a space, to create venues actually right away, to make it possible to show content, to develop music, to show productions. I have to say again, not so much necessarily only music from our countries, but again also from other countries, because it's really interesting. If you go to Dubai and see a concert, you find actually today quite a diverse program. There are concerts for Iranians, there are concerts for Indian people, there are concerts for Arabs. Everybody actually drags, as I said already, his own content to the city and shows it there. And the question is, of course, how to somehow merge this at some point. There was at the same time a long-term strategy in developing more heavy infrastructure. Zaha Hadid, for example, we invited to design something what the Emiratis called Dubai Opera House. I was actually against that title, because I have to reiterate, I didn't believe in the need of an opera house in Dubai. I thought that opera itself is probably useful, but not necessarily an opera house, because I think that at the same time we should also have a performing arts center for Indian, for Arabian, for maybe Chinese and Russian performing arts you find also in Dubai. This is an area which is rather an industrial area with a lot of warehouses and industry. Not very interesting actually, or maybe particularly interesting because it is very generic as an industrial area out of Dubai, but actually still pretty close, not too far. In this area, some of the first and most cutting-edge galleries found a kind of shelter at the beginning in warehouses for a short period of time. After 2007, almost immediately, Dubai became a hub for Muslim art. Today, the art fair of Dubai, Dubai Art, is probably one of the most prestigious art fairs outside of the Western world, with a huge network all over the world. And interestingly, many Muslim artists from Iran, from India, from other Arabian countries have in the meantime their gallery in Dubai. They may even live in New York or in Paris in diaspora. But these people in the meantime go back to Dubai because the main buyers of their art live in this area, or actually search for new art in this area. So Dubai actually became also a hub, not only for financial services, not only for transportation, but at some point also for the arts, because of the same reason actually. being at the same time a Muslim place and a global place. So what we actually proposed was a community center, which could be self-sustainable and also self-regulated, so that residents would actually participate in regulating and somehow managing, organizing that area with a community center, with art galleries and workshops, and also a residential area for people who are living, working in the arts. That actually is meant to become a facilitator to attract not only money, but to attract also artists to live in Dubai, because Dubai was for a long time extremely expensive, so that's not affordable for many artists. And the idea was to create actually an incentive for artists in this area, and to at the same time also host galleries who are threatened to be shut down elsewhere. Dubai managed actually to immediately focus on what is actually important for Dubai. So the art, for example, in the beginning I remember there were actually a lot of attempts from Western galleries to bring Western art to Dubai, even old masters, but also contemporary art, and from Andy Warhol to Rembrandt, or from Rembrandt to Andy Warhol, thinking that these oil-rich sheikhs, they could be also interested in buying this kind of art. It turned out that they are not very interested in that, and many of these galleries actually failed and had to move back to Europe or into the United States, whereas galleries running Muslim art from the Arab world, from India, from Iran, became extremely successful in Dubai. The financial crisis in 2008, starting the Wall Street in September 15, with the collapse of Lehman Brothers, indeed had almost an immediate impact on the economical situation of Dubai. It was really as if somebody had plugged out the city. The city eating until August 2008 everything. People, steel, glass, cement, from almost one day to another, lost completely its momentum. Because many investors who had invested in huge construction developments in Dubai had immediately changed their plans because of an expected long-term recession worldwide. So that's why, a fourth time the same slide, many of these yellow areas will probably remain for a long time yellow, because there will be definitely no possibility to reinforce investments very soon. There are actually, interestingly, no precise official dates published about the economy in Dubai after 2009, after the crisis became really serious. But what you can for sure say that after a decade of massive growth, the growth has actually now converted into a shrinking process, and at the same time the government had really to invest a lot in order to stabilize the economy. As you can see, the government spending has tripled just within 1 year. However, Dubai still tries to remain a tax-free zone in order to not lose the incentive to attract people and investors, capital from abroad, which is, of course, to a certain extent, pretty difficult. If you look at the entire Arab world, all what is colored here shows that in these countries were different forms and different unrests of different magnitude, from a civil war to a revolution or just simple unrest and protests. And you see that almost all countries were drawn into this kind of protest movement during the last months, with almost one single exception, and this is the United Arab Emirates. There must be a reason for that, and I don't think the reason is that we have a particular efficient dictatorship in Dubai, which doesn't allow the people to protest. I think it is rather because of the fact that Dubai indeed achieved already a certain alternative of a political system, the social system, and also an economical system, to almost all other Arabian countries. And I think that, as I said already in the beginning, deserves a certain respect despite of all diseases and problems and issues which Dubai has caused or has to face today and maybe also in the future. I don't believe that this was all built just on sand that will actually disappear the same speed it actually appeared. I love the beauty of the desert, but I must say I admire also this urban development Dubai and some of its neighbors have achieved in the meantime. And I can imagine that if not a very unexpected big disaster will happen soon in this region, that Dubai and the United Emirates will really become a kind of role model for an alternative social development for the entire region.